Good morning, dear ones. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I've been up in the Smoky Mountains up in Gatlinburg for a week, and my God, the questions are piling up here. And so this first video, though, is going to be on detoxification, the science, the practice, and the reality of. And I would like to make the art as well. This is a book that I've got being written as well. I don't have enough time. So it was really good to get up in the fresh air. It was cool up there, 38 degrees in some parts, so it was cool, but I don't like it that cold. And the reason I've decided to do this is because we need to touch back on this. And then this is like part 2 actually, and I'm doing part 2 before part 1. And part 1 is really, I did that my first video, and some people are having a hard time finding that. It's on my website, but it's about the great lymphatic system. And so this is, you have to understand your lymph system to understand why detoxification. Why is detoxification the golden key that unlocks the door to vitality, vibrant health, the door that eliminates all dis-ease symptoms, this ridiculous world of diseases? The golden key, detoxification. Incredible art. It is an art. There is no such thing as detoxification in 5 days, 2 weeks. There's no such thing. Detoxification is a process. It can take years to detoxify the physical body and regenerate. Because remember, detoxification is the process by which we reach into the human body and remove the acids, that side of chemistry that is most responsible for the degeneration of the cell, for the mutation and damage of the cell. Because remember, the bottom line is the human body is comprised of roughly 100 trillion cells and 2 major fluids. These 2 major fluids, obviously, no-brainer, takes care of the health of those cells. The blood, obviously, being the life force, the nutritional side. It in itself doesn't have to be a major entity, and yet the medical community is lost in that entity. The reality of the body is 75% lymph in terms of fluids. That means the lymphatic, the sewer fluids, are the predominant fluids of the human body. And I'm going to do another video to be part 1 that attaches in front of this. But most of you get this real well, and I'm so proud of you guys. I'm telling you. But for those people that are new, and another example, the reason I'm doing this is some mother whose daughter has been on the herbs for 2 years, called in screaming and hollering at Jennifer, saying, "You're killing me, that these herbs are going to kill you. I'm going to report you to who? God, maybe." And this is what happened. She got a tumor out of her nose. "Oh, I'm sorry. Let's keep that in there for you, honey." And she started getting green mucus out. "Oh, I'm sorry. We could keep that in you, and that's why you could wonder where I parked the car when you get older, or why you have brain cancer." And then she started going into pneumonia-like symptoms. Well, that could be your future lung cancer, but no, you can keep that in there if you want, honey, but you did not understand the reality of detoxification. And this is the thing. I'm sorry, these herbs did exactly what they're supposed to do. This diet did exactly what it's supposed to do. And your daughter should have informed you, or you should have informed yourself. Because this is an educational site. Detoxification is real. It's a reality, and it can be one that's not a lot of fun. But it is fun if you change your mindset and realize you got a tumor out of your nose. You got a tumor out. Guess what would happen if you didn't get it out medically? Well, you might remove your nose. You might remove half of your face. Now, if you'd prefer that over some detoxification symptoms, well, I suggest you go that route. You know, this is part of the problems with some people out there. They're unstable emotionally. They don't have their cards in a row. And so when they take on something like this, they're never successful. Although the body's taking them there, they weird out and freak out. And it's like, that's why this video. Before you detoxify, you might want to review this video. Because this is the reality. Detoxification is very serious business, steeped in the science of chemistry and physics. You know, it's simple to understand this, and again, in the great lymphatic system, we do cover the two sides of chemistry. The base side of chemistry, which is the basic female alkaline healing side of chemistry, and then the acid corrosive side of chemistry. Granted, there's all levels to each side of chemistry, and there can be some very damaging base chemistry. But ultimately, by and large, the most damaging side of chemistry is the acid or corrosive side of chemistry. That's what most cellular wastes are. That's what you're creating in activity, lactic acid. Most parasitic wastes are like uric acid and different acids. So the end byproduct of digestion and metabolism and respiration are predominantly acids. We think basically about stooling and about eliminating waste from the colon. Those are digestive wastes. What we don't understand is there's a whole bunch of cellular wastes that have to get out. Remember, each one of your cells is like a little person. Each one of your cells eat and poop. That's simple. And so your body has to feed the cells. But medically, there are concepts of you poop in your kitchen. You reabsorb lymphatically, lymph waste. And this is a massage therapy brought into this stupidity. And because of that stupidity, we have major, major issues. Major issues. 1 million people died last year at the hands of allopathic or the medical world. None died of the naturopathic world. And yet, some of these states are setting up legislation so they'll bar those that do no harm and pat those that constantly kill and harm people on the back. Isn't that amazing? Well, you know, this is going to change, because if we don't change it, God's going to change it. You know, karma has a little tail like a dragon, and it can whiplash those that are playing this hideous game of allopathic stupidity. You know, it's one thing to have a good surgeon to repair the human body, but when you use allopathic and toxic pharmaceuticals in the world of health, in the world of treatment of body symptoms, this is where the problem went wrong, because they don't understand. And when you don't understand and you're going in a blind room with a chainsaw, somebody's going to get hurt, and that's what happens. So it's unfortunate we have such a killing machine that's allowed to exist. And my God, we can't get these pharmaceutical drugs. What are we going to do? We can't get these killer antibiotics or these killer chemo drugs. Oh my God. You know, I looked at that and it was almost like I was in a surreal world of ridiculousness. Oh my God, people are panicking. Hospitals, we can't get these toxic, dangerous drugs. Life-saving drugs, chemotherapy, a life-saving drug. I was listening to on the news this morning about the breast cancer group. They've been around a long time, and now they've helped women to live over 5 years. Live over 5 years. You know, with breast cancer, every 74 minutes someone dies of breast cancer. That's ridiculous. You know what? Breast cancer is very curable, and not in the terms of diseases. If you treat it as a disease, the chance, the likelihood it's going to kill you is going to be high, because you can't treat anything. Because there's no diseases out there. This doesn't exist as a disease. And as long as you play their game, you're trapped. And you're going to give money and feed this hungry organism that has no clue to what health is in the first place. So learning detoxification is vital to all of you. And for this lady that got a tumor out of her nose, yellow or green mucus out of her, got pneumonia-like symptoms, those are common eliminating symptoms. What did you think detoxification was? You know, I can tell you that any time your body pops out a tumor on its own and the medical doctors don't have to go in and cut it out, how lucky are you? You don't realize how lucky you are. So this is some of the problems, and I'm very passionate about this, but I've been this 40 years detoxifying people, and you've got your wackos out there that just take it out there like crazy and don't understand this, and then you've got those like most of you guys that are really stable and you understand what it is. Some of you will absolutely have very little healing crisis whatsoever. But understand, detoxification, there's a science behind it, and the science deals in the two sides of chemistry and the science of physics, or magnetics, energetics. Obviously, we're plugging you into a wall socket. We're plugging you into the highest amount of energy we can. And when you're in a neurological condition, you want the highest voltage you can get. That's the fruit, because you're into regeneration. Remember, in spirituality, when someone says, well, you're going to die here, go to the darkness, look to the darkness, go to the dark force. No one tells you to do that except the dark force. You know, everyone says, go to the light of God, go to the beauty of God. Well, that just happens to be the highest magnetic energetic field we can comprehend, and then we can't even comprehend that. You know, some say that God is as bright as 10 billion suns. Others say more. Well, my God, you can't comprehend that level of intensity, that level of consciousness. Matter of fact, very few souls have been privileged to enter those higher realms while maintaining a physical human body. It's almost impossible because you just won't come back. I can tell you, I've been to places where I struggled to come back here. Struggled, but was told it was essential. So I struggled to come back. Who would when you're basking in the tremendous light of God, you know? So we have to bring that light as much as we can to this world and get out of this decay of disease thinking and this idea that you're going to die if you have cancer. That's crazy. Get into the art of detoxification. That is the art of being well, the art of health and vitality. It is an alkaline or base chemistry predominant experience. That means it's a fruit and vegetable experience predominantly. Remember, the air used to be, and most fruits and vegetables used to be 80% base to only 20% acid chemistry. That's a pretty good ratio. If you look at chemistry and the way these ratios are found in nature, you'll find that most of these ratios are around 80% base to 20% acid chemistry. And one, obviously, because acids are so corrosive and aggressive, but two, they're also the byproducts of chemical activity. And when you have acids being produced, it's like the pollution. We're all freaking out because the pollution is now at a level that is very serious. Lung cancer went right around GI tract cancer. And most people don't understand secondhand smoking, this or that. It's all about acids and all about bringing acids into the blood. And of course, on its way through the lungs, damaging tissue. So, real serious. Also about congestion and mucus and tumors and cysts. It's all about that. And yet, people don't realize the insane mucus-forming dairy products that we consume. Why anybody would push the use of milk. The Dairymen's Association has a lot to answer for. Why would you push something that's not nutritious? You can't say that ultra-pasteurized milk is nutritious. You'd be lying. You'd be deceiving the American public, wouldn't you? Because it is far from the truth. You have a glass of orange juice that has more calcium available than 4 glasses of milk. What do you think? So this is a bit of a serious deception put out by some of these massive corporations. I can see why these people are fighting corporate greed, where it's insane. You know, the lies and the propaganda. Well, you great souls have to see through that if you want to survive on this planet. You must learn the art of detoxification, because it is an art. Because when you start turning on that alkaline switch, I don't care if it's cold air that does it. I don't care. Notice that the detoxification symptoms matches cold and flu-like symptoms. Notice European doctors used to say, don't treat these cold and flu-like symptoms because it only causes more problems and it suppresses what the body's trying to eliminate. If you'll notice, cold and flu-like symptoms are symptoms of elimination, of expectoration. And that's exactly what happens when you go out into the cold, when you eat raw fruits and vegetables, sometimes when you go on a normal saline drip. And whenever you start turning on to the alkaline community, the base community in chemistry, you are creating a cation experience. And a cation experience is an experience where things start breaking up in the body. Fluids start to move. Solidification, calcification, cholesterol plaquing, dehydration. All those things are starting to go the other way. Rehydration, the movement and breaking up of solidified mucus and sputum, the breaking down of tumors and cysts and abscesses. All this is a chemical and a physics process. There is total science behind this in every sense of the way. But it's also a reality that you must understand that detoxification can rat you out emotionally and mentally. We're so used to being polarized to the negative side that when you hook to the light, it can be a little disconcerting sometimes.